What's up, everybody? Lefty here, Party Science. Today I have two very special guests. It took us a minute to put this together, but I'm very happy. We got Jake Pilla and Jake Ferri.
What's up?
Gentlemen, thank you for this time.
Anytime. Jake Squared in the building.
I was reading the text message between you two yesterday that you guys had sent me, and I was like, this is going to be a great fucking podcast. I'm looking forward to it.
Mouthy.
Yeah. You guys are fighters, so I'm sure you find easy ways to settle that.
Yeah.
What I wanted to ask you guys, and I mentioned it a little bit off camera, was how did you guys become friends? Because the amount of shit talking between you two on social media, the text messages alone, I'm like, I don't think they're real friends. So,
If you must know, Jake Pilla actually groomed me as a boy.
That's what I was going to say. Oh, that's okay. You caught me.
I'm in Stockholm. I'm still around for some reason.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
That's entirely what I was going to say. I was like, I shouldn't say it. But yeah, I guess I groomed him. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that kid's going to be good. He's mine.
and then you guys started wrestling is when I'm straight to the...
Yeah, right to the point.
All right, so you guys link up through fighting, or like how is like?
I think we met. He was helping coach at Andover Wrestling, and I think I ran into him at a state wrestling tournament or something. And then months later, he was getting ready for a fight and wanted some wrestling work, and just hit me up, and then we got wrestling.
Jake was like a big name. I had already graduated by the time he was kind of in high school, but I was coaching Andover High for the wrestling team, so I was still pretty connected with Shawsheen and all the other schools. And so he was kind of the big name in Barica. And I heard about him, and like you hear about kids that are good at things, and like to me, like that's cool, but there just has to be like more. For me, like for you to stand out, anybody can be good, anybody can be tough, anybody like that to me is a dime a dozen. And I don't even remember who it was, but someone was like, yo, you got to link up with Ferri. And I was kind of annoyed, like, yo, fuck this Ferri guy, right? Like, and I was like, why? And they were like, because he works the way you work. And I was like, damn. Okay, all right. Like I felt like they had just like tied my hands. And so at the time I was training for a fight. I'm not somebody who feels like I have a lot of ego. And so I hit him up and I was like, hey, like I'm not a great wrestler. Like you're a great wrestler. I'd love to show you some MMA stuff if you'd like to come and hang out at the gym. If you could just show me some wrestling. And I think I picked him up one day. We went to the gym to train, and like I can't get rid of him since.
So, for you, you grew up wrestling. Is that what it is? So that's where you kind of started your MMA base from?
Yeah, I started when I was in 4th grade, wrestled all the way through college, and you were just building off.
4th grade, bro?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Do you remember what it was like, your first match? Like, do you remember the feeling of, like, not having any experience and going into a match?
A little bit. I remember it was, first tournament. I never came from a wrestling family, and at the time, a lot of wrestling tournaments were, like, transition. Like, it was all paper, pencil, brackets, and everything. They were starting to everything was online. Wrestling tournaments are long and confusing, and if you don't know what's going on, it's no one has any idea what's happening. My parents had no idea. It was stressful for them, and I was crying because I thought I was never going to wrestle again because no one knew what we were doing. Or if we were I didn't know if we were at the right place. I ended up wrestling, and each year I kind of got a little bit more and more into it. And then, I think it was, summer going to my junior year of high school is when I think I first started training with Jake. First time, he tossed me some gloves and, we got to get some rounds in. I'm like, okay. I don't know how to throw a punch or a kick. I shot like a normal double leg, so I'm reaching for his legs. At the same time, he's throwing a leg kick. I'm, shooting at the same time. He just pops right in the nose. He pulled it, and he was wearing the shin guards. Like, it wasn't like hard, but it was a kick that flushed on my nose. I popped up. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, this is different. And ever since then, I'm like, all right, when wrestling is over, like, this is what I want to get into.
So your entry in was in the sense like wrestling based strong, but not MMA based. Yeah. So he was able to catch you with the knee, or like you throwing the knees.
I threw a kick up.
Oh, okay.
He just like put his hands down and went right into it. I'll say right now, I did not kick this man that hard. It was very nice. I pulled back. Like I wanted him to keep coming, and he did. right? But it was just, I think that to him was probably like the first time he was like, oh man, like there's a lot more to this game than just wrestling.
Right.
And so it's been a pleasure to just be a part of his MMA journey and career and martial arts. It's cool.
Well, both of you guys are
Very cool.
beasts. I follow both of you pretty closely in terms of like,
Thank you.
I watch MMA. I'm a big MMA guy. Like I fucking watch every weekend. I like watch all the fights. So when you guys are throwing down, I'm always like, I try to buy into like the shit that you're on. You know what I mean? Like I'll follow what you are posting on social media and stuff like that. So I know you guys are both fucking savages. What interests me is like you guys are fucking funny and down to earth. So if you guys didn't have cauliflower ear, I don't think anybody would really know.
Yeah.
Like, is that by design, or do you guys think you guys have always just been like mad chill and then just learned how to fight as well? Like, how did that come about?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's a little bit different and looks at fighting and the career and this and that different. I try not to take anything too serious, especially when you're talking about like the social media and I just like goofing off. I just funny. I want to have fun with it. I don't want to be posting anything too serious. Getting ready for fights. Like it's something that makes me laugh. That thing might make someone else laugh. I'm like, I'll do that.
It works, bro. It definitely works.
I just like goofing off, goofing off with my friends.
Well, you should take shit more serious.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I don't know. It's working out pretty well from what I see. It's based on your last fight. I mean, from what I've seen on social media, right? I haven't gotten to see full-length versions of your fight, but just the clips that I've seen, you've always seemed pretty dominant, wrestling, heavy, ground and pound type of. Is that, do you think, like, just because you come from a wrestling background, or do you enjoy the dominating feeling of, like, holding someone down? Like, what is it that makes you, like, wrestling heavy? What do you think that is?
Well, definitely the background, where I'm coming from, it's sometimes you kind of default to it, and I've had fights where I've probably defaulted to wrestling a little bit too quickly, but I try to get good everywhere. You can't be just a good wrestler and succeed in MMA or take it very far anymore because it's gone too well rounded. Every year, the field is getting better and better. A new generation coming up. A complete martial artist, not just a wrestler, not just a striker. So you gotta be good everywhere. So working on getting better at the striking, mixing the takedown, mixing the wrestling and the striking together more. It's just just trying to get good everywhere. It's an interesting game to play, but can't just rely on the wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen in most MMA, it looks like if you have a strong wrestling background, you can kind of cover not having good striking and develop into better striking. But if you come from a striking background and you don't have wrestling, you seem to get ragdolled a lot more from what I've seen.
100%. It's also matchups, right? Like, they'll put strikers against each other, building fights because it's what a fan wants to see. So, like, there is kind of some of that, when you think of the guys like Strickland or, like they're sticking strikers with strikers and stuff like that. But I do think the wrestling will take you a lot farther than, let's say, a striking can, because wrestling is more dominant and it's just more control.
Bro, your jiu-jitsu is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
When I see, like, I forgot if it was the last fight or the other fight. The dude had, like, a chest tattoo, a massive chest tattoo that you fought.
Yeah.
And, like, just the way you kind of manhandled him. I don't remember his name, but just watching that fight, I was like, that's beautiful art. That's mastery right there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, bro, yeah. I'm looking forward to your next fight.
Yeah.
Is it the 20th? 20th,
We're
yeah.
like 10, 12 days out.
Okay,
Like that.
okay. How are we feeling?
Good. I feel sharp.
You look
man.
good.
Yeah, I feel good. Jake's been beating me up, wrestling me the last couple months, and been training my ass off. So, we're here. Let's get in there and get it.
Nice.
It's time to get busy.
Yeah, bro. And you've been crushing it the last couple of fights that I've seen. It looks like you've almost like kind of ran through your opponents.
Yeah, I mean, I've done well the last two. I fought twice last year in February, so it's been a year. And so both of those fights ended probably a minute in. But those are my nights. So I'm just hoping that this is also my night, and we're gonna get in there and fucking go to work. This kid's gonna try to wrestle me. He's gonna try to bring a ton of pressure and take me down, and good luck.
So he's a heavy wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
Which
then,
is exactly why.
yeah, that fits in exactly where he's at.
My friend Jake comes to help me.
He's very tricky, very, very tricky counter wrestling. I never feel quite safe attacking the legs, getting on shots of them. I know there's always a chance of just him throwing guillotines. He does very well. Never feel quite safe when I'm on his legs. If I get there, if I'm not finishing the shot right away, I gotta work out of this position because I don't feel comfortable here. I don't feel safe, and he does a very good job of that. It makes it very hard to wrestle him, for sure.
Thanks, buddy.
Which makes him makes everything makes that a good matchup for him.
Yeah. I mean, I always root for you, bro. I think you're going to do amazing as always. But, it's nice to see you be dialed in on being serious about the opponent, Because I feel like that's where most fighters, they get comfortable on their style.
This is like a step up in competition. He's 3-1. The only person he's lost to is a tough game opponent. I think he's like 7-1 or 7-2, and so like he's gonna bring it. And to me, like every fight is the biggest fight of my career. I can't. Doesn't matter who I fight, when I fight them. Like I need to make this the top priority, and that's what I'm doing. And so I feel great. Like I know it sounds funny, but I've been on the bike 4 or 5 times a week. I'm strength and conditioning every day. I'm in here every day. Like I'm doing rounds and rounds with this guy. I think it's the day of the Super Bowl, and I'm in the gym 3 times. Like we're on right now, and so I'm just pumped to get in there and perform and take that next step.
Yeah. Bro, you do it with a smile on your face. Like
it's fun.
Yeah, bro.
It's not that serious.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think because you understand that getting, and it's gonna sound a little weird because I'm not the fighter in the room, but like because you guys understand how to take a punch, it doesn't seem intimidating to you guys as much as it would to someone who doesn't.
Yeah.
So
I think it's always scary, right? Like I think that's like anybody who says they're not scared, I think is fucking lying, But it's just one of those things. I already said I'm gonna do it. I'm selling tickets. I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna show up, and I know he's just as scared as I am. And if he's not, shame on him, because on this side there's real danger, and I'm assuming there's real danger on the other side, and so I'm gonna bring everything I have. And if you don't feel that fear or that dude, I don't believe you. I've been in this game a long time. I coach a ton of guys that fight. I've coached at the highest level, lowest levels, and everybody I've ever seen in every warm-up room was fucking scared. Everybody,
Fix your posture.
Oh my God!
You're slouching.
I'm trying to be your height. I was trying to help you on camera.
Your shoulders are
you want me to make you? All right, little
Fix your
Jake.
posture.
This is what we're doing.
I'm looking out for you.
Jake, if
welcome.
animals could talk, what animal would roast you the hardest?
What animal?
Yeah.
Probably my dog.
Oh my God! I didn't think about that. I don't even want to know.
The animal I'm around them with the most.
I don't even want to know what your dog would say about you. That'd be terrible. I can't believe that you think your dog would talk the most shit about you. What kind of character is that? That's a terrible character. Your dog would talk the most shit about you?
He only cares about himself.
My cats would talk like I'm like the greatest thing ever.
Your cats would eat you if you died.
Dude, no they wouldn't. My cats would eat you if I died.
Probably.
Yeah.
But they definitely eat you.
No.
Do you think those cats love you, dude?
Yeah,
the moment they get a little bit
Oh
hungry,
my
they would
God.
eat you.
Those
are
if you
feral
walk
animals
through
when
my
it comes
house,
down
those
to
cats
it.
would hunt you.
They would hunt me.
Yeah, if
I'll
you
fight
walk through
your
that
cats,
house, please. You're
I-
eye level with
dude,
the cats. You can't talk like that.
I kick your ass. Yeah, I
There's
kick
2
your
of
cat's
them.
ass, dude.
Yeah, please.
Whatever, dude.
Oh my God.
You try to help a guy out. You try to tell him, fix your posture.
My posture.
You're on camera. You're gonna get a bad back.
I'm gonna get a phone
Hey,
booth
you
for
guys
him
all-
to-
you
for
guys
him to
all-
sit on. If he keeps this up.
I was wondering how long that would take. How long we were into the podcast we were gonna go.
We knew it
That was
coming.
15 minutes, guys. That was pretty good.
Strictly business.
I was waiting.
Yeah, keep it
I was
up, pal.
waiting. Oh, and this is exactly why I was looking forward to this podcast. All right. So going back to your fight. Hold on, I gotta get my shit together.
This guy's not professional.
It's not funny.
So what's your process in terms of like tuning out the fear as it's happening and like checking into a fight as you're walking to the cage?
You gotta just kind of make that decision. I think it's the same with kind of anything that you want to do in life. Like you're never gonna be ready. It's never the right time. It's once you make that decision, you just gotta hold to that decision. I think it was Michael Jordan who says like I don't barter with myself. So I said I'm gonna get in there and do it. I'm just gonna get in there and do it. There's no whining about it, crying about it. Oh, what about maybe? And when those thoughts come in, you gotta just shut that door and keep moving. Like everybody's gonna have that fear that creeps in. But do you feed that fear, or do you feed the person on the other side? I'm on the bike every day. I'm in the sun every day. Like, I'm feeding the other side, and so I always think the more you feed the other side, the quieter that gets. You know, I think there's a lot of strength in preparation, as I would say.
Bro, that is what I'm trying to live the next 3 weeks going into my marathon.
Nice.
So the
Yeah.
fact that you talk about preparation, I'm like, what has your mindset about preparation always been like that, or was there a fight that kind of made you decide that my preparation wasn't right? Like, at what point were you like, yo, preparation is key?
I think I've always felt like preparation was probably my best friend. I've never felt like I was. I mean, unless I'm standing next to Jake, I never really felt like I was like gifted or above average. But no, I always felt like if I could have anything that I could control, it was how hard I worked and how much effort I put in. And so for me, like the preparation was where I can shine. You know, I say even now, like I'm somebody who, some guys do love the fight and through the stress and they love the fight. I love the fight camp. I love everything up until the weigh-ins and the rest. I just like let's just get in there and get it over with. You know, like
Wait, so let me understand this, because every
shoot.
time you're saying you love the fight camp, the actual
Yeah, I
camp
love
leading
all
up to the
this.
fight.
Yeah, I love dialing in and being the best version of me, and like my diet's better. I don't touch a drink. I'm not sneaking Reese's all day. But it's even more than that. I'm up early. I'm in the sauna multiple times. I'm doing kettlebells. I'm calling him for extra work. Like the team kind of comes around you a little bit, and they're jumping into sessions that maybe they wouldn't have, or traveling down on a Sunday to another gym to get rounds, and you're just kind of picking it up. And I just think that like I really enjoy the fact that like while I'm doing that, it forces me to be the best version of me everywhere. My laundry's on point, my notebook's on point, my you just kind of have to be, and especially like when a fight's coming up, I'm somebody who likes to do it. uh, Obviously I love this, but there is an element of business in what we do, and so I like to do the business element to the highest degree, and with that comes a lot of tickets and t-shirts and sponsors and all these
You're
things.
phenomenal at all that, bro.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
you're very good at promoting your ass off.
It's taken a long time, and it's very organic. It's all real. It's all right here.
Bro, they love you.
I
Like
love them
crowd
too.
footage of the
Yeah,
crowd,
I
like
love
video
them too, though.
as you're walking out and you're just kind of
Yeah,
standing there and like you're looking out at the crowd and like seeing the footage, bro.
it's a blessing,
That
man.
crowd would bleed for you, bro.
Yeah, and I'm going out to bleed for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely, I love it.
Well, for for you, it's because you started at such a young age as well, right? Like in terms of fighting, a lot of people who are watching you fight now saw you when you were like a kid fighting. Now you're a man fighting.
Yeah,
You know.
it is definitely kind of cool. There's just multiple pauses in my career, whether it be COVID was a couple years, my ACL was a couple years. I've probably had 3.5, 4 years of opponents that have pulled out or situations happened. I had like heart problems for 2 years. Like I've had just like a kind of a funky run. And so like with that being said, like I don't have a ton of fights compared to some of the guys, but I have a world of experience because I have been doing this for a long time. And so I think I'm in a cool spot. Like we might almost have the same amount of pro fights, but like I'm a veteran around here now. Like I've paid my dues. I've gotten the black belt. I've opened the school. I've coached the fighters. Like it's nice to now be the adult fighting and not the little kid anymore. Like it feels different now.
I think you've grown into the role really well. Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah. Like just seeing how much your team loves you, and like when I'm here shooting videos, like when you're closer in camp towards the end,
Yeah.
like these times, like you see them there. They're working their ass off. So even if they're, getting their ass kicked on camera
Yeah.
with someone, they're
They're the
doing
best.
it gracefully,
Yeah,
So,
of course.
yeah.
You gotta be. It's a
Yeah.
good team effort. Like I'm lucky that guys like Jake, like we lead by example. Jake runs a great wrestling program, and like you can't do these things if you're not doing them this way and having fun and having a good room and leading. I think we're both very lucky to kind of just be in the right place at the right time to have those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like you guys have your friendship came together at the right time for what you guys both needed in terms of what you're working on and what you're working on to improve.
Absolutely.
And you need mentorship, but you need someone young and hungry who wants to fucking kick your ass every day, even and then
Yeah.
because he's your friend, he's gonna rub that shit in your face.
He's gonna try.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I want to drop him on his big, dumb, stupid head.
Oh my God, this guy dropped me. He couldn't even lift me up. Dude. Quiet down.
Bro, we'll bring this a little closer
He's
to
in
you
a- he's in
because
a
I feel like you
female
kind of
weight
reaching.
class. I don't think he
Hold
can
on,
do
let
this.
me fix this real quick.
Technical
They're
difficulties.
literally they're literally taking the stand out from the mic to put it on the ground, so it's at his level. If you can't see what's going on, let me talk. Let me voice over right now. The mic is on the ground.
They have video. They can see what's going on.
Yeah.
It's an adjustment. All right.
Yeah. You sound real defensive over there.
Sorry about that, guys. My fault on
If
that.
you stop slouching, you need an
Oh.
adjustment too.
Are you gonna come?
Your
against
posture's
me?
terrible.
Yeah. Again, I'm just trying to be the same height as you, my friend. This guy's 5'10" on Tinder.
5'11".
All right.
Oh. I think over the years, me and Jake have a really cool friendship because we both not only do we enjoy the same things, but we're very similar. We have a lot of fun. We play. We both love hard work, but we love to do it in I think the best way you can do it. And misery loves company. So if I'm going for a sprint, he's going for a sprint. And if he's climbing this hill, I got to climb this hill. And I just think it's made us pretty close over the years. And
Yeah, always very similar attitude, very similar outlook on things. You know, he always take care of me. You know, I went away for college for a long time. I was gone for 6 years and came back and
that's
picked
6 years
right
of my life.
picked right back up after that.
I see why you guys are friends. You know what I mean? It makes sense. You know, when you're fighting, right? And if I remember, correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Because I believe this is you that I saw, but your last fight was like a belt fight, or the previous one of these previous.
Yeah, so you're probably thinking about my last amateur fight.
Okay.
I've had 2 pro fights since then, but yeah, that's my last amateur fight.
Okay, so walk me through the transition from amateur to pro for you, since it seems to be relatively recent.
Yeah, it was pretty recent. I still don't really quite feel like a professional fighter yet. You know, both the fights, I never want to look down on anybody, but it was kind of not the same level. And now we kind of move forward, you know, fight better competition. But I had some tough amateur fights that were definitely a little more challenging, that were better preparation. But even right now, I don't fully feel like a professional fighter. And I think Jake can attest to this. You almost never feel quite ready to make that jump forward, whether it goes from, you know, from wrestling to get into MMA, from, you know, amateur to pro, or even just jumping levels in competition. Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever going to feel quite ready, and people kind of wait too long until, like, you know, they think they should feel a certain way. I think there's always going to be a little doubt in your mind. That's normal. You just kind of got to just dive in and go forward. But, yeah, I mean, the preparation, you know, we're now getting ready for 5-minute rounds instead of 3. You have the elbows, the knees to the head, which changes things, changes the wrestling
12
a
to
lot.
6 elbows, you mean, or like
Just
in
elbows
just
overall.
okay,
So we
so you
couldn't
didn't have
elbow
them in
in it, yeah.
amateur, so you
Nope.
can't elbow in the
Yep.
amateur.
There's
Okay,
no elbows to the face. There's no knees to the face.
Yeah.
okay, and now you're changing to where
Yeah.
or the last 2 fights have been that is what
Yep.
you're saying. Yeah.
Now, yeah, even with the knees to the head, now that kind of changes things as a wrestler. You shoot head on, guy lifts his leg, that knee connects. That's legal now. So it changes the game a lot. I think the jump from amateur to pro helps me more than anything, even as a wrestler. I think now utilize those elbows, get into certain positions. I think it would be good for me. But those are things that you gotta be aware of now.
So how do you and obviously I'm not trying to give away game plans or anything like that as we're talking here. So let me know if I'm asking questions that I shouldn't be.
Nah, you're
you know, just because I'm a nerd, I love this shit. So how do you find yourself preparing for something like that? Like, how do you prepare for possibly getting hit by an elbow when you didn't have that fear in the previous fights? Like, what are you doing to prepare to break habits, you know?
You gotta be like conscious of that position. Obviously, like when we're sparring, you know, you're not gonna be throwing hard knees or hard elbows at the guy, you know, trying to kill him. Sometimes you can wear elbow pads, you got, you know, throw them. But I usually, like, on the other end of things, like, I'll try to show elbows. Like, I'm not gonna fully throw it, but I'm gonna show it when I see it there. You know, when we're up against the wall in a clinch position, or, you know, I'm on top on the ground. Try to show those things, and on the other end, when I'm in those positions, I try to be aware of that. I try to be cognizant of when I'm in a position where I could be hit with that knee or hit with that elbow and try to clear out. And, I think it's just another thing, like, you won't really know until you get hit with it. I've heard those elbows change everything.
Yeah. It definitely does, from what I've seen in fights, and
I was finished with an elbow.
Yeah. Okay. So then, when you're in there and you're feeling like, yeah, I'm not at a pro, and just kind of making sure I understood what you were saying is like, you don't feel like a pro because the amount of time you're putting into it, or like what is it exactly that because it, to me, from what I'm seeing on an outside, you're doing everything a pro does going into a fight, so I consider you a pro. So like what makes you feel that way?
I guess I'm just
Jake will always be his own worst critic. Not to
Gotcha.
everybody.
Okay.
Jake is probably one of the nastiest 25ers I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, bro, he's fucking.
I've trained all over. I've been everywhere from here to Syndicate and back, and trained with some of the best guys in the world. Jake will not be the one to sit on camera and tell you how good he is, but I will be. The kid is a fucking stud. And so, like, he might be newer kind of in this game because he was away for 6 years, and because, like, I'm somebody who's been in the game for, 15 years in the back rooms, and I know everybody back there. He's kind of new in the sense, like, he wasn't in the back. So it's going to feel a little bit foreign to him the same way, like, if I went and wrestled right now, it'd be foreign to me, but I can wrestle. This motherfucker can fight.
making me blush over here.
Yeah, well, no, I will say, like,
my cheeks all rosy.
it's one of those things, I think everybody, when you start to get to a higher level, you have to keep asking yourself, like, do I belong here? Am I doing what it takes to be at the caliber that I'm at? Well, we've asked the question a bunch of times, and his record will stand where it stands. He has proven he is doing what is necessary to be where he's supposed to be.
Yeah. Kind of goes into what we were saying earlier, like, I don't know if you can agree, but
100%.
you almost never feel quite ready.
No. You always want to do more. You want to be able to give, like, this is very important to us, obviously, right? That we're going out there and kind of dying on our shield in front of everybody we love, and for pennies. It's not like we're making big money, and, like, this really is like a love project. At the end of the day, call it what you want, but it's a passion project. And I think it's just one of those things, like, it means so much that, like, you have to keep asking yourself those questions. You have to be realistic and, be honest about the work you're putting in to get what you want out of this.
Most definitely.
How do you, because I feel like from conversations I've had with you, you track everything you're doing, and you get the joy of feeling yourself at peak performance when you're going through camp. Yeah. How do you track it? What do you do to kind of know that you're each camp you're improving on what you did on the previous camp?
A lot of it too is feel, right? Like, while I'm working with guys, like, we have a pretty good idea now. If I've spent 1,000,000 hours on the mats, like, I know when I spend 6 months and I just don't feel good, and I'm not hitting anything, and I'm tripping over myself, and, like, then when you have 3 months where you're kind of cruising through the room. Like, I'm in a point right now where, these boys, tried to kill me last night, and I'm still here, and it's not a knock off them, but it's
congrats on that.
Thanks.
That's
really trying.
That's great to hear, bro. That's awesome.
These guys.
And thank you for putting him through that work. I appreciate it as someone. Yeah. I want him putting in that work before for sure.
I'll shout out my boy Whack. At one point afterwards, I was like, bro, when you got off me, I was like trying to figure out who had grabbed me. It was like it was a lot, but yeah.
So you're noticing it more on a performance level, like you're noticing that you're sharper in terms of just how everything is going all around.
Yeah, I notice it a lot in sparring rounds and live rounds, and how my recovery is based off of, we did that 15 minutes, and then I was back up trying to get more rounds.
So that workout last night Jake was against a wall, 15 minutes on the clock, continuous, every minute. A new guy would jump on Jake and just try to take him down, try to punch him, everything. And he was able to keep a good pace. He defended a lot, like, had a fresh guy on him every minute. And that's exhausting.
Yeah, you said for 50?
15.
15, okay,
you're tired.
Fresh,
You're tired after 1 minute of that.
Yeah.
But you get, I think he's in a good place where he was comfortable being tired, was able to keep working, was able to keep on moving through positions every single go. Was never, beaten in any of those goes, and looked very well. And like I said, took a few minutes to recover, then started getting rounds in after.
Nice,
I
bro.
sent a
Good.
bunch of them home after that. I was back for months.
Yeah.
But I also like I do track my stuff on the assault bikes. Like I know when I'm kind of like peaking in performance. Like I think I was 4.5 weeks out and I had PR'd on the bike, and so to be that far out of the fight, like out of where I should be PRing, and I'm PRing by 50, 60 points, like that to me is huge. Like it means I'm doing the right thing. I'm on the right track. Like since then I've like floated on that line a bunch, and now I'm tracking. I'm on the assault bike 4 times a week, so I know like what my RPMs are supposed to be at this time, and if I got to do it 10 sets at the start of camp, maybe I could only really survive 3. Well, now I'm surviving up to the ninth set, and so like you feel it.
Yeah.
It's like running, man. You all of a sudden
Mhm.
you're running a 9-minute pace for like 2 months, and all of a sudden for some reason you couldn't get out of 7 if you tried. Like and that's I think kind of where I'm at right now.
Nice. Let's fucking go, bro.
Yeah, man.
Let's
It
go.
feels good. I feel it and I can feel it too in my physique and the weight, and like I'm probably 10 pounds out. I have been for the last 2 weeks. Like I'm chilling. I'm
That's
eating
really good,
well.
bro. Nice.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in good shape. I look like I'm in good shape. Like everything right now is just kind of right where it should be.
Yeah. You look at everything you say, bro. I agree.
Appreciate it.
Bro.
I'm trying, man. I'm really trying.
Yeah. You always are, bro. You always are.
That's
So
the
yeah,
goal.
yeah, yeah.
I don't like how far we are.
What do you mean?
I think we're very far. Okay, next time we do this, can we give you?
Oh
close
yeah,
together?
yeah.
I
mean,
like the next one.
Listen, this was kind of like
He is
ass
not.
pass put together. You know what I mean?
I want
with-
the next one, all 3 of us on one couch.
Like we want to be able to like touch hands. Is that what you're saying?
Like
All right.
I want to be like
Alright.
leg to leg.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, all right, no problem.
Yeah,
I'll
All
put
right.
you on the casting couch.
take it easy here.
I'm actually that grooming comment. Jake, you want to tell them about the first couch? Don't tell them about the first couch.
Can't hear about that.
So when you're looking at him and he's training, right, and you're kind of yes,
I stare along.
right, right.
little nervous.
As much as you can give, right? Obviously, as being someone who's behind the scenes, seeing it all. What are you looking for to make sure that what he's saying isn't full of shit?
No, he's been working. I've seen him through many camps.
I love you, but I just gotta, you know what I mean? I gotta ask. Yeah.
About to expose this fucking guy.
Do it. I fucking dare you.
I've been there for a lot of camps. I was here last night when he was doing that workout, and we were all taking him down against the wall, and he always looks sharp. And he's definitely at a very good place right now. He's looking very good. He's in good shape. Very dialed in. I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. I think it's a great matchup. I think it's a good opportunity for him to really show a lot of tools, show what he's been doing, and he's gonna put on a show, do some molly-whopping.
Yes, sir.
Nice.
Oh, yes, sir.
What do you? How do I say this? When you look at your wrestling background, what would you say was that moment where you realized you were good at wrestling?
It's tough to say. Like, I wasn't that into it at first. I was a little kid. I was playing every sport, and each year I got a little bit more into it, and I was just telling my I run a wrestling club up in North Reading called the Red Roots Wrestling Club. I was just telling my kids earlier today, right before I came here. I have this talk with them every year around the time the postseason comes around, when they get into
When
the
you
state
say
tournament.
kids, what age range are you training?
So it's right now it's youth, so like K through 8, and then over the off season I have high school guys too.
Okay, so you're doing
But,
basically all 8, all
all ages.
okay,
Everyone.
yeah.
But I like to have this talk with them, around this time every year, and I try not to talk about my own wrestling career too much because it's over. It doesn't matter. It's in the past. No one cares what I did before. Those kids definitely don't care what I did.
Washed
It doesn't
out.
necessarily make he might care, but it doesn't necessarily make me a better coach. I try not to talk about it much because it means nothing. But I tell them, I ask them, how many U state titles do they think I've won? They start guessing 2, 3, 4, whatever. 0. I never won a U state title. I still lose sleep over it. I went 0-2 at Youth New England every year, and then I went into high school. Started doing a little bit better. I ended up winning 2 New England titles. Went to college, started all over again. My first 2-3 years, like 2 years for sure, was losing a lot, losing more than I was winning. kind of turn things around. Ended up a 2-time Division I national qualifier. Never All-American, never went as far as I wanted to, but I did all I could. And I look back and I know that I, left it all out there. I have no regrets. But I try to tell them, like, everything you're doing right now, it doesn't matter. Your U state titles mean nothing if you are winning, not to discredit anyone, but it means nothing. Right now, the bigger picture is you're just getting ready for the next level, developing, getting better. Don't get too hung up on these, youth titles and these matches and everything.
That's a great viewpoint. That's a great way to view it.
Yeah.
Because he's telling kids it just doesn't matter. They're like, Coach, what about my homework? He's like, it doesn't matter. Coach, my mom said
Prepared you for the next level here.
Yeah, none of it matters.
The talk is good for the parents too, because the parents sometimes they fucking nuts, and I've seen not many from my wrestling club, thankfully, but I've seen a lot of overbearing parents that are like pushing the kid into.
Oh
it.
yeah, that's a real thing. Yeah.
Let the little obviously they might need pushed a little bit, but let them play other sports, let them do their thing, have them buy in on their own, give it some time, and they'll get into it. Because for me, I didn't start getting really into it to like maybe 8th grade or so. I started buying in. I started wrestling year round. My parents never made me do anything. I did it all on my own. I was able to kind of really get into it. Every decision I made was my own, and it brought me all the way through college. And now, here, on a podcast.
Terrible. Don't do whatever he did.
I mean, hey, I don't know. It seems like it's working out pretty well. Even though he's not happy about some of the results, it looks like the overall next level stuff that he's training for, it's clicking just fine.
We're exactly where we need to be. Everything's right in place. It's going well. I'm living the dream, man. I'm training, fighting, coaching, all that.
How do you think these kids are receiving that message when you're saying this to them, right? Because they dream of these titles, right, some of them, and you're telling them, listen, I get you like them, but this is all training. If you're going to go to the biggest level, this is just another level of the training. Do you think they get that what you're saying to them?
I think some of them are, definitely not all of them. I definitely see some glazed faces, when I'm, talking to them about this. But I think, if it reaches any of them, if it reaches a couple of them, then they get the point. Like that's what I'm trying to get across. You want to hear my secret to coaching?
Yeah, sure.
Jake will probably understand this, being a coach himself, is I purposely teach them all the wrong techniques. And the reason being is so they can never be better than me.
This is exactly why him and I are friends. Okay.
That's a trick.
Shout out Derek Roy. You'll never beat me.
I make it subtle. I can't make it too obvious, so it's an art form. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But I teach them all the wrong things, so they never quite get good enough. They never quite figure it out, and they'll never be better than me. Yeah. That keeps me in business.
It's genius, guys. Genius.
But it's a balance. You can't let them think you're some type of phony.
No.
So it's delicate.
Even though you are.
Exactly.
Even though we have no idea what we're doing.
All right. Solid. This is good. We are, 40 minutes. This is good. This is exactly how I anticipated this to go.
This is actually better than I behave.
I was going to say, this is probably the most compliments you've given yourself in one day. Like each other, like the...
Nice.
Yeah, we're in our rhythm now.
Yeah.
It's been like a year. I can't get this guy to bring me a coffee in the morning. I'm so tired of him. You have no idea.
So when I come in the morning, I usually...
Oh, my God.
When I wake up in the morning...
He's just selfish.
When I wake up in the morning, I got like an espresso machine. I get myself a coffee.
I don't have one.
But I drink out of a mug. When I'm driving, I'm drinking out of a mug. I don't want to do the portable. I don't want to do the coffee thing. Like I like my mug. I like kind of the danger, knowing I might spill it everywhere all over myself. I don't know. It's a thrill.
What a bozo. What a bozo.
Chasing that adrenaline rush every time.
More thrill by bringing me a coffee too. Double the thrill.
He can't hold two mugs. He can't hold two mugs.
You know how insane that would be to hold two mugs while driving my car? That's a hazard. He wants me to get hurt.
I see the selfishness. I see.
Yeah.
You can at least.
I'll
you can at least attempt it. You can at least attempt it.
I'd spill hot coffee all over my lap. I'd crash my car and be game over. That's what he wants.
Crash my car for you.
That's insanity that he wants me to bring a second mug for him. Where am I going to put it? I have no cup holders in my car.
Okay, that's a personal problem, I didn't know I was gonna attack you that deep, but
I got one cup holder actually, but it's behind me. So
I'm gonna go to your car right now and fill it with something. No cup holders for you.
Would it,
I got one cup holder. He says, "Man, that was rough, boy. I'm sorry. I'm gonna
Tough
get him
life.
some of those like clip-on cup holders.
Five Belows.
Yeah, they're on the inside of his window.
Like 4 cup holders. When you're talking to your kids and you're saying this to them, is it the older kids that are understanding it more, or the younger kids? You think?
It's a mixed bag because I got a really good group of like, second to fifth graders right now. I think is where we're kind of strongest because these are kids that I kind of got to start out with. So I came back to 3 years ago, I think, from college, give or take, something like that. Hard to keep track.
So
of.
first year you came back, they were with
But-
you, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so I had like a handful of these kids I was able to start with. I got to see as they, bought in kind of together. Like a lot of them start wrestling year round. I'm getting a couple like really young kids each year that I kind of filling into that group. So it's kind of like a trickle down thing.
So you're fairies.
Yes, my little
Yeah, your
my
little
little
fairies.
my little minions.
Nice.
Yeah, and now it's kind of like a trickle down effect, and it's like a culture being built from the bottom up.
Yeah,
So in a few
yeah.
years, those kids start getting older and everything. It's gotta be like a full
All the
bloodline
techniques
routine.
will come into play. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like really excited about.
Yeah.
It's like the next few years when those kids start getting older, and the
That's when
culture's
they're
being
gonna
built.
realize that you're full of shit.
Just good enough.
But the culture's being built. And it was cool to see like on Sunday we had our U6, U8, U10 stage. So those are the age groups. So that we have U12 and U15 coming up soon. But all those kids are wrestling, and they're all every match in the corner cheering for each other. I had
Nice, that's good.
2 kids that weren't wrestling that were like just age out of that group that showed up to come watch and just support their friends, which I think is crazy.
That's great culture, bro. You're
So
building great culture.
It's really cool to see that happening. I feel bad for the parents. Like, wrestling tournaments are an all-day thing. Kids aren't even wrestling now. They're stuck bringing their kids there. But it's really cool to see them there, just cheering everyone on.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, bro, because you've mentioned it a few times, and I'm just curious. When you left for the 6 years, did it feel like you were doing what you were supposed to be doing, or what made you leave for 6 years and then all of a sudden say, "I'm gonna come back and fight"?
Well,
Like, how does that? Because it sounds like you went for a degree, right? Like you went for, right? You went to school. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Specifically?
Yeah, I
Right.
went
So
to
like,
He
Kent
missed
State.
me, so he came home.
okay, all right.
I went to Kent State University to go
Okay.
wrestle and get a degree. And, the plan was always to, we're going to fight once, I finish up. I ended up doing 6 years because you have a redshirt year, and then I ended up having a COVID year. So that gave me 2 extra years of eligibility. So on that 6th year, my coach had to kind of fight to get me to come back. Part of me was kind of done. I came back for that extra year. I'm glad I did. But, yeah, at that time, that was like a fourth of my life.
What
spent
happened
in
that
Ohio.
6th year that you say you were glad for? What happened?
I finished strong. I went my 4th year. I made it to nationals for the first time. 5th year, I just barely missed it. Like, pretty heartbreaking. I was like kind of on the fence. I'm like, I think I'm done after that. It took 2 weeks, and told my coach, I'm like, all right, I'll come back for one more. And I was
Because
getting
of the
mastered.
loss, you think you felt that way, or what caused you to feel that way?
I don't want to regret anything. I don't want to look back and be like, oh man, I wish I took that 6th year. Because I was, in college wrestling, part of a team. It was great. Everything's great right now, but I do like, I can only do that for so long. I only had so many years. I got the opportunity to do it again. I'm like, yeah, we'll do one more. It was good.
So you started. How old are you now?
27.
Oh, you're fucking yeah. So like, you have at least 7 to 8 more years strong in MMA in
Yeah,
terms
we
of
still got
MMA
time.
years, right? Like,
He's got
usually 35 is where they say you really like peak
Yeah.
in terms of performance. So like,
I got time.
and the way you take care of yourself, I'm sure you could rock that up much longer
Oh, yeah.
if you wanted.
Thankfully, I've been, pretty healthy, hoping to keep it that way. Stay away from the major injuries and everything, taking care of the body. Thankfully, everything's been going good so far, so knock on wood.
Were you always in that mindset of like recovery? Was that something you always focused on, or was like when did that start for you?
Probably when I was around like 21, I noticed my body not recovering.
So
the
6
same
years
way.
ago, or you.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Shit.
I don't feel like that's long.
Yeah.
Though your reaction makes me feel like I said something, but like really to me that's not a lot of time.
It
So,
seems like
that seems like you really picked up something along the way that was
Yeah.
crucial.
That seems like a kind of a second phase of my career in combat sports where, like I said, feel like my body could not like handle what it was before. Like when I was in high school, you know, could kind of train, do whatever every day, be fine, feel fine the next day. Not very sustainable, and then it kind of catches up with you. And when I was like around 21ish, give or take, was when I started feeling like just my body. I don't want to say break down. That's pretty dramatic, but I'm just not recovering the same way. Can't do.
It
the
would
same
take
things
longer. Yeah,
before.
yeah.
That's when I started, getting more into yoga, mobility. I had when I was in college, we had a great training room where I would go, ice bath all the time, get cupping, do all that. So, still learning more about the recovery, still trying to stay on top of it. Sometimes not as consistent as I should be, but that's a constant battle. Try and be as good as possible with that. I know he's kind of in the same boat. You always kind of find new ways to stay healthy, learn more. So, staying on top of that, and, it's crucial.
What do you guys? So, like I told you a little off camera, I'm training for a marathon. What's a good recovery for the legs? I bought the massagers you guys have here and
The
all that
compression
stuff.
pants
Yeah, I
have.
bought those.
We
bought
actually
that.
massage each other after sessions. We can get you after this one.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
We each get a leg.
Free of charge this first one though. Is that
Yeah.
all right? All right, free, all
Yeah,
right.
oh, yeah, we got you.
Trial run.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, guys. And you're both peak form, so this will be great.
It's called a Jake sandwich.
If you were talking to your students, or if you were talking to your students, what advice would you give them on a basic level for recovery?
Listen to your body.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it sounds so simple, but it really is. Like, guys want to do extra. If you're at the end of the day, you trained your ass off and you just rolled 7 rounds and you get up and you're like, I'm done. And then that one more that you just went back in for, that's the one guys get hurt every single 100 out of 100 times. It's not the first roll. It's not when you're in there feeling good. It's when some part of you has already said, I'm probably done. And then you went back for just that one extra that you just had to have. And that's kind of where it is. Like, guys will be somewhat hurt and think that they're being tough pushing through it. Like, you're not. You're making it worse. If you gave that 2 weeks to recover, you'd be fine. But you pushed it for 2 weeks. Now you're out for 6 months. Like, it's just so counterproductive. Like, listen to your body. Be an adult about it. And it's hard. Guys are not very good at it. They don't listen very well to it. They just want to
You think
train.
that's an ego thing that drives it? Yeah.
And,
I think it's
I don't
just
think
like a good ego, like
Yeah,
they want to
so-
be better. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I don't think all ego is bad, but I do think it's just like, no, I'm okay. No, I'm okay. I got to go train. I want to go train. Like, yes, training is very important, but if you're not healthy for training, then it's just a waste all around.
Yeah, yeah. You're taking life off your martial arts like career by going in hurt when you could have took a day off and coming back sharper.
And the gamble just, to me, isn't worth it. I think when you are 18, 19, 20 and like you're recovering overnight and you feel great, like, it's different. But I think as you get older, like, the risk versus reward, like, what you'll get in those 2 weeks is not worth taking 8 months off because you blew your shit out. Like, it's never worth it. You know.
Now, did you have a moment that something like that happened to you and that's how you learned, or like what caused you to come to that mentality?
I've never been somebody who thinks that you have to do things at 100%. Like, I like hard rounds of sparring sometimes. I just, like, everything I do, I think that if I can do it at like 70%, I can go 100 when I need to.
This guy's a slacker.
That's exactly it. I never let him know how good I am. That's what's going on here. It takes me like 40% to take him down
Sandbagger.
and handcuff his hands behind
Sandbagger.
his back. Yeah, sandbagging if I'm in your division. That's right. Let him know. Let him know. Oh, wrestle this guy right to the ground. I might have to do it on camera in a minute.
Let me get the stabilizer. That way I can really get him close.
Yeah.
Let me get the good angles.
Yeah. You're going to need a stabilizer in a minute.
Now, when you're training and you're preparing for a fight, right? Like when you're teaching class and preparing for a fight, you said you like the not going full blast, and when I think of that, I kind of think of like George St. Pierre and like how he talks about he does a lot of play roles, and it's very much he finds guys who will meet him at like a 50% effort type
That's
of.
I love stuff like that. I like the game of it. I like the back and forth. I like the mental aspect of it. Like, if like Jake's a great example of somebody who I can go at a 60-70% with. But like we could go and just be like, hey, like no submissions for the next 5 minutes, and we're just scrambling positions, and we might be like
Flowing.
trying new things, and like, let's say I put him in a position, he gets out of it really easily. I might put him back in the same position and try something different, and then we're both playing with the position, and like as guys get better and better, you learn like this dance to it, and the dance is kind of where you can go at a 60-70% and get great work and be creative without the risk of.
That's how you learn how to work through positions. That's how you learn how to just navigate through things. I think it's very, very underrated that just, we call it play wrestling.
Yeah.
And, wrestling or sparring and wrestling. That's what, but it's a hard thing that people don't really understand. Like the give and take of it,
I think especially too, like a lot, some gyms think the hard sparring is the answer. I'm not saying it's not. For me, if I want you to be creative and I want you to have an open mind and learn techniques and be able to be in bad positions, the element of threat needs to be very low, right? So if you make a mistake, if you know that the slightest mistake, I'm gonna punish you really like on a high level, right? You're gonna get submitted really quick. The availability for you to play with that position is slim to none. But if you know you can get in that position, I can show you the threat, and then you can work out of the threat, and we can work on that position, your availability to learn the position is a lot higher. And so, like, doing it the way I think a lot of the higher level guys do it now, it just allows for a lot more learning and a lot more work. And we still go, like, we're fucking beating each other up. Like, it's not like we're not, But there's an element of, like, the punishment per position will never exceed a point to hurt each other,
And from what I'm understanding is you're trying to allow the creativity to still happen so that you can understand how you can get the best performance out of the position. Yeah. Because if you put that person in danger right away, they're never going to play in that position, which will limit their game, which might end up getting them hurt in the long run.
100%.
Is there a moment where, like, if you're training somebody initially, right, to understand positioning and the importance of, like, being safe versus where you might leave a gap for someone to take an advantage, what are you first training them? Like, what are these kids learning in your classes? And obviously not to give too much away, but like, yeah, but like,
How to play tag.
What is the first lesson you're trying to teach them? As like they're getting into wrestling.
To brand new wrestlers or.
So like, when these new kids that have been with you for like 2-3 years now, as you're coaching them year to year, like what are you like teaching them at that level? Like I know obviously everybody has their own pace.
Yeah.
But like, is there like a program regimen, or is there certain things you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, at the youth level, we got different classes. We have like an intro 1, then an intro 2, then an advanced youth class, and then high school is just high school. You kind of get thrown in the fire. It's the same level class no matter what. But at first I'm just teaching them the bare basics. Like intro 1 is basically it's basically babysitting more or less, and I'm teaching them like bare basics, let them play games, and I find that a few kids out there that seem really interested, that are picking up well or very focused. Now I move them up to intro 2, and we just started doing the intro 2 this past winter session. It's been going great. I've been loving it. And now it's starting to kind of develop them a little bit more. They learn more about the positions. They still learn like just a basic foundation, and get them in there long enough. Now we can move up to advanced. Now the advanced youth, like, it's beyond the basics now, and a lot of kids, like, they're gonna be a little bit lost for a while. I have kids in that class that still might be kind of lost. And it gets to a point where it's kind of you just figure it out. You get thrown in the fire. You eventually figure it out one way or another.
It's more learn on the job type of, like, you're going to pick it up as it's happening to you more than I can explain it to you to really get it.
A lot of times, like, in there, I'm not usually teaching anything crazy. Like, I'm very big into just basics and fundamentals. I know everyone probably says that, but, I try to break down things in the simplest form. I try to get them to understand why. I make them answer questions. I ask them the same questions over and over again and make them answer.
So you're making sure they're paying attention to what you're telling them. Yeah,
I just want to make sure they're engaged and they're paying attention. They're thinking critically. I want them to think critically about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and
is that something that you're noticing in the ring when you're fighting? Like your ability to think at such a high pace. Like, Is that what you're preparing them for, or like what is it that you're experiencing
Yeah.
that wants to give them that lesson?
Um, I think I just want them to understand the sport of wrestling, in the simplest form. Like I don't want them to, all right, I'm gonna do this move because coach said to. I want them to understand why. I want them to understand the angles of everything, the positions. I want them to know what happens if I do this, what happens if I do that. So I want them to be able to think critically, break things down in the head, ask questions, and I have a lot of kids that do that, and it's cool to see. But I just want that. Like, I think that's how they just start really understanding the sport and developing good wrestling IQ.
Right. So you're not just trying to give them the answer as much as you're like, hey, listen, here's how you should go about wrestling, and from there you're gonna kind of learn the lessons as they happen to you. You know.
Yeah, somewhat. And I kind of think of like I show them what I wish I understood when I was their age, what I had a hard time with, and I'm a slow learner with pretty much everything I do. I'm a pretty slow learner. I don't pick things up that fast. It takes a lot of reps, a lot of.
How do you not pick
focus.
things up fast? You're so low to the ground. I feel like you'd be so fast. I feel like you would pick things up faster than anybody else I know, actually.
It's because my hands are little.
Oh, well, you're so close to picking things up. I don't. All right, sorry. I just couldn't understand that one.
You're closer with your slouching, dude.
Oh,
Look at that.
He needs
Roll your
another
shoulders
joke.
back a little bit.
This guy needs a different joke.
Look at that. You're leaning all the way over.
He's already mad, and I'm still taller than him.
Yeah, I just want you to fix your posture.
Oh yeah.
I'm worried
I'm
about
gonna
it.
sit up. All right, Jake. All right.
Thank you.
Is it better for you?
Thank you.
I
You're on
appreciate
camera.
you. Thanks for caring.
Oh yeah, you're good. You look good.
Thanks for caring about me. Appreciate that.
So you're trying to help them problem solve by themselves in real time from the strategy that you're thinking is like, this is what I wish I knew at your age was like, I would be able to solve this problem of like what I'm walking into fast enough to put that other person in danger, kind of. Is that what I'm understanding? Is like, because I want to make sure
You lost me.
when it comes to what you're trying to teach the kids, right? Like what you're trying to teach the kids,
Yeah.
and you're talking about critical thinking,
Mhm.
right? What I'm getting from you is that you're saying is like, I'm trying to give them the ability to understand the situation themselves.
Yeah. Like I just want them to. I don't want them just to do something to do it. I want them to understand it, and I think that makes them more apt to actually apply it, actually do these things, and start developing those habits. But also, what do I know? I'm just there to yell at little kids, beat them up, take the parents' money, maybe hit on a couple mothers. I'm just kidding.
Or fathers.
I'm just kidding. I can't have the HR department, call me in about that.
I'm gonna call him.
It's me. I'm the HR department.
Yeah, that's why
I am just kidding though.
I think
I'm a professional.
I think to kind of piggyback off what Jake was saying, when you coach or when you're trying to coach at a high level, everything's different between us, right? The way that I wrestle is different than the way he wrestles, than you would wrestle. Our bodies are different. Our mobility is different. Everything is a little bit different. And so I can't teach you exactly what I do because it's not going to work for you the same way. And so instead, what I can teach you is sort of the theory of what I'm doing and why I might be doing it and how to apply some of these theories. And then I show you kind of what I would assume from your body type is going to work, and then you have to play and adapt it to you. Yeah. And so that's kind of, I think, where the highest level of coaching comes in. You are teaching the theories and the concepts and the ideas, and you give someone the ability to problem solve and troubleshoot and kind of like, walk through the valley. And you're still a bumper. You're still adjusting and coaching and fixing and, but there are people who are, bigger or taller or longer, have longer legs, and they can do certain sweeps or techniques that I can't do, and he definitely can't do. And, it's just everybody kind of has a different game, and so you just try to give people as many tools as you can to play the game. Yeah. Gotcha, Jake. Don't worry.
Yes.
So I think we're getting close to the 1 hour mark here, boys. So I don't want to keep you too much longer, but if you don't mind, I would like to shoot the shit for a few more minutes.
Of course.
Now, what do you guys think doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to the fight game?
You got something here, buddy?
Give me a second. The gears are turning.
Yeah. Okay, I got a couple ideas. So if you got nothing, let me know.
Yeah, you got a good idea?
I think the type of gyms and the type of teams that you
No,
see.
that idea sucks, dude.
Cool. Let's talk about the money. Let's talk about the money, baby. Let them know.
I hear fighter pay is
Stacking
pretty
cheddar.
We're
like
broke.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, is it all ticket based commission? Like, is that what it is, or like,
yeah,
are you just
kinda.
getting like, is it show bonus, win bonus? Is that how it works? Yeah.
Yep. Show and win and ticket commission.
Okay.
It's generally like the standard for a pro.
Right. Now, what I'm understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong here, because I'll talk the shit and you guys just let me know if it's right or wrong, because I know you guys are in the fight business, so you can't really say.
Gotcha.
All
No,
right.
I'll-
From what I hear when it comes to fighter pay, early on, right, a lot of the local scene and the early on years, depending on how much attention you have, you don't make a lot. You're just kind of building the years, and it's increasing with every contract if you do it right. But for the most part, you have to really like get a belt on you if you want to make this lifestyle really be a lifestyle. Like,
Yeah,
is
prove your
that
value.
yeah,
On top of that,
yeah,
on top of just how well you compete, are you a draw? Do people want to see you? Like what, your physical value to the company, aside from your fighting ability.
this is at the end of the day like an entertainment business. We can say it's fighting, but it's not. It's entertainment, right? Why does Conor McGregor make more than most people? Because he's a bigger entertainer. That's the sport that we're in. And so if you're not marketing or you're not entertaining and you're not exciting, like they're not going to pay you. And then I mean maybe you've had different experiences, but I haven't seen as a coach or as a fighter like local fighter pay is pretty standard and it's not very high. You could be, we're pretty good draws, I would say locally. I would argue that us two Jakes probably bring in the most locally than anybody else.
the
And
best two Jakes for sure. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And I don't think any company is jumping to pay us anything that's crazy. And that's not a diss to any company. I think it's just
yeah.
standard.
Right, right. No, I
It's
get it. They
local
look at their
businesses,
return. They look at
which
it how.
is
Yeah,
standard.
yeah. No, I
can't really
understand.
expect
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Right. No, it makes sense, right? It's a business still at the end of the day, and people are
100%.
funding it, and they
Yeah.
want to get a return on it. And if you can make the biggest return for them, there's a guideline to what they can pay you. But if you make some more sales or whatever,
Yeah,
you get to draw. So
Sponsors,
yeah,
T-shirts,
Right.
gear,
Merchandise
yeah,
type.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
So that's kind of the other half of the game that like you can play, and I'm somebody who believes like that's a big asset, right? Because instead of having 100 fights, like I know my outreach is really high. I know my networking is really high. I know that on camera I speak as articulate as I can. That I don't sound silly. That I can be, like being marketable. Like I think in itself is a big asset, especially for what we do.
Hmm.
Yeah, and absolutely. I think from what you guys, the way you guys handle it, you handle it probably at the just obviously you guys know the business way better than me, but I'm a nerd for it. Like I really do watch it and I study it and I love it. So like when I come here and I look at you guys, I'm always kind of like, are they doing it the way the UFC would take them? Like that's really because at
It's a
the end
really
of the day,
important
UFC is like where everybody wants to go, right? Like
Yeah.
you want to fight there at least at some point in your life
100%.
where you can challenge for a belt, right? Like that's what I've always understood from every.
That is the apex,
right?
That is
So
the peak of it.
yeah, so like when I come here and I talk to you guys, I'm like, would they be? Because obviously, correct me if I'm wrong, but like you have to start at the apex at this point, right? Like if you were gonna fight, like that's where you would fight initially
Yeah.
going into the UFC. That's where they would
100%,
throw
you'd be
you
at the
some type of
apex.
fight night at the apex or
Yep.
something like that, right?
Yeah, a last minute call out to some
Yeah,
some
yeah.
fight
Some-
night card.
Yeah, someone
Something
fell
like
out or
that.
something. They need someone right away, and this is your
Yeah,
moment to step up,
100%.
like 2
Yep.
weeks notice type of shit, right?
Entirely.
Yeah.
Entirely.
So when I come here and I just like talk to you guys, I'm kind of like, I think yeah, I see it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, so just to kind of wrap it up, what advice would you give someone who's in their first fight camp? As we're about to sign off, like them going into their first fight camp, feels, recovery, emotions, like what do you think would be the first thing you would talk to somebody going into their first fight camp about?
You want to go? You want me to go?
I'll let you go, my friend. Ladies first.
As contradictory as it sounds, don't take anything too serious. Obviously, you're working hard. You put a lot into it. People like to use the term sacrifice. I try to avoid that because I think there's a negative connotation with the word sacrifice. I like to think of, I'm doing this because I enjoy it. But kind of remind yourself why you're doing it. You you should love to do it, especially if your first fight, you have no reason to be doing it other than this is what you want to do. I have like a mantra I try to tell myself, before every wrestling match, now before every fight, I try to remind myself that nothing matters. We're all going to die anyways. You might as well go ball out. But I had a coach who used to say to me, it would, piss me off at the time, but if I lost a bad match and was all pissed off, would come to practice pissed off the next day, he goes, sun still came up. No matter what, the sun still comes up.
I like that a lot. Sorry, I'm just gonna do one. Can I ask you one question on the? Yeah,
you hang out.
I just know we're wrapping up, and I'm
handle
continuing to ask questions. So like I know I don't want to keep you too much longer, but when you're thinking like that, right? Where you're like, sun's still gonna come up and it's pissing you off, but like now you have your own way of pretty much saying the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's where you picked it up from, or like that's just what kind of developed you into that mindset?
I mean, everyone has a different mindset. Everyone needs a different mentality. The way I think might not be what works for someone else, when they go into a fight. I just need to try and enjoy things. When I'm in the back, I'm not trying to get, dialed all the way in, not talking and just wicked serious. Like, I got to be having fun, joking around. That works for me. That doesn't work for everybody. But I think if I get too psyched up or anything like that, I tense up, I don't move as well. I think I do a lot better when, I don't want to say not caring, because obviously I do care. Obviously there's that fear. That's always going to be there. But I try to remind myself, just to have fun. As cliche as that sounds, I want to be in the back, dancing, having fun, joking around, and then when I step in the cage, now, all right, it's time to go. But I try not to take it too serious when I'm, out there, when I'm back there, getting ready.
You find you take it in better that way?
Yeah, I just think I perform better that way. I think I'm looser, more relaxed, ready to go when I'm not, getting psyched up and taking it too serious.
Emotions cloud judgment.
Right.
And those moments being too emotional can cost you.
Right. Because you lose your edge because you're so hyped up.
Yeah.
You're so wound up in terms of
Searching for the kill, searching for the thing. That moment can get away from you quick.
Right. So you would give that similar advice in terms of a fight camp?
I would agree 100%. I would say no high too high, no low too low. Like at the end of the day when this fight's over, like your life is right back where it was, so you can't take it for that. I also like somebody said to one of my coaches, I think, said to me a long time ago, like, let's say in my lifetime I have, we'll say 25 fights. That's not even a full month out of my life. Like, these moments are few and far between. Enjoy them. Like, it's not an everyday that we get to go fight. It's not, and we build it up to be this, like, so stressful. And take it in. Like, enjoy this. Look, this is cool. We're going to do it 30 times, and that's it forever. 30 times, like, imagine anything in your life that you've done that you really loved and enjoyed. I told you could only do 30 times. You'd be like, you would savor every second of it. Well,
every second.
That's kind of how I like to think about it at this point. Where like, if I have 25 pro fights when it's all said and done, like, one, that's cool as shit to say that I had 25 fights like that.
I threw down with 20 motherfuckers.
Yeah, to me that in itself is pretty cool. But also like, it is such a short time in my life. It's not my everyday. It's not me in the morning with him bugging him because he didn't bring me a coffee for the millionth day. Like, and it sounds so silly, but I think our lives are made up of so many more of those little moments than these big moments that we make them out to be. And so, like, somebody who's going into a fight, like, it's not that serious. Go out there, have some fun, and, like, tomorrow we're right back to business.
Right. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, as we wrap up here, social media handles, information on tickets, like, please feel free to share any of that now.
I'll let you go first, buddy.
Jake Ferri.
Oh my God, I can't stand you.
Ferri. Jake Ferri.
Can I put the QR code away so you
What up?
I was reading off the
I
cue
have a
card the
little
whole
sign over
time.
here. He's reading his last name, ladies and gentlemen. If you needed to know. Good job, buddy. Thanks.
The cards are upside down.
So is Jake. He's looking up.
What about your gym? How do they follow any info on your gym for the kids, where they can sign up their kids or anything like that?
Good call, thank you. Red Roots Wrestling Club. We start our next session next week. High school kids will be back in a few weeks. You know, you just go to the website, redrootswrestlingclub.org, pretty sure. And then you get all the info there.
Or you can
Club's
call Jake
growing.
personally at
978.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Anyway, you
Yeah.
just gotta call me. But yeah, you get the point. Thank you.
Guys, sign up if you got wrestlers, high school wrestlers, kid wrestlers. Bring them to Red Roots. Okay. Not even enough plug on how great that program is. The room looks great. I was in there the other day. A little jealous. He has the cool TV out there. You know, some cool stuff.
Thank you.
Watch a lot of stuff on that TV.
Don't go to Gorilla Crew.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you want to get better.
As we shoot here.
I wonder what Jake is. Can we get a zoom in on me behind Jake on my banner?
I'm just kidding. You should come here. It's a great gym. Jake does a great job coaching. They got good little staff of coaches here. Good culture being built. Starting to develop a great fight team. It's still in the early stages there, and they're really building something up good.
Thank you. Yeah, we're 10 days out. So Combat FC, February 20th. Get your tickets through me. You can hit me up through the gym Instagram at Gorilla Crew Fitness. My Instagram is Jake the Gorilla. Whatever you do, don't follow at Jake Ferri. And hopefully I see you guys at the fight, because I'm going to try to do some real damage to this man. And it's not personal, but
It's not fair.
a job has got to be done.
What about the stream? Because it's not on Fight Pass anymore,
Ooh.
right? That's not a thing anymore. Where is it?
Is that true? And
I don't know, because they moved
where did they move to?
the Paramount.
Okay, but UFC Fight Pass is still a thing.
It's still a thing?
Yeah, I think so. Jake doesn't know what he's talking about. He's asking me
Alright.
questions right now.
Yeah,
Stream
I'm
on
pretty
UFC.
sure it's still a thing now. It's just
It's
streaming
still on UFC
Paramount.
Fight
Yeah,
Pass.
yeah.
If it's not, just get your ticket
Yeah.
from me.
Yeah.
Gorilla Crew Fitness or Jake the Gorilla on IG.
Just trying to look out for you.
Thanks, I appreciate it. But you don't have any answers. You're just giving us all questions.
Fix your
I'm
posture.
sitting up. I'm sitting up.
You're on your toes.
I'm gonna. Yeah, your feet don't touch the ground.
You are. You
Yeah,
move
yeah.
the camera down. They are right now.
This guy.
Guys, thank you for your time. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
Fiddle.
man.
Appreciate it.
Good luck with your marathon coming up.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
hell
bro.
yeah.
I appreciate it. Good luck with the firefighter stuff
Oh,
and
thank you.
everything that you once you get into a group and everything,
I
and team,
appreciate
bro.
that.
Yeah,
Very
that'd be a lot
excited
of
to
fun.
be there.
Yeah.
Saving cats
Yeah.
out of trees. Thank God.
Please, documents. As someone who didn't get to do it but wanted to do it, I'd love to see that footage
Oh,
if you
hell yeah.
posted that
All
shit. You know,
We
if you
can do
could.
that.
I don't know to what extent they'll let you record that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Please do. Please,
right.
please. But guys, thank you. Have a great
Thank
night.
you, brother. Appreciate it.
Later, everybody.
See you guys.
Take it easy.